Hello guys, just like I said last week, today we'll be talking about common mistakes that beginners make in stock investment. Okay, what I'm about to share with you today is one of the lessons I learned along the line while investing. Because if I had known what I'm about to share with you a few years back when I started investing, I would have avoided some of these potholes and I wouldn't have made the mistake I made about a year later after investing in stocks and shares. One of that mistake is selling off my shares because I thought I was not making much profit. Okay, so because along the line after selling my shares, I got to understand that stocks and shares is something that I can't do on my own. I actually need to gain knowledge. I actually need to, I need guidance on how to start investing in these things. And I started studying it, and I started, okay, making inquiries and buying courses and doing the necessary things I needed to do. I began to realize the mistakes I made as a beginner investor as at 2021 when I started investing. So some of those mistakes are what I'm about to share with you today. So someone who is okay starting your investment journey, you don't just base your knowledge on just knowing how what stocks and shares is. Okay, knowing the definition of stocks and shares is not just enough for you to start making money out of it, because that was the knowledge I used to jump into the stock market in 2021, and then I bought some stocks and just left them there without compounding them, without buying more stocks. I just used a little bit amount of money to buy stocks and just left them there because I heard that when you invest in stocks and shares, you start making profit. But along the line, when I was not seeing profit, when I was not seeing any good sign of a increase in my money, I sold them off in 2022 in anger, because it doesn't just make sense that my money is just in that portfolio doing nothing. Let me just use it and do something else. But then in 2023, when I went back to the particular app that I used to buy the stock, I realized that one of the stocks that I was given for free, which was Dangote Sugar, has actually grew tremendously over the years. Okay, now the amount the stock was when I bought it was not the same amount it was as when I was looking at it. I was like, oh, what if I had if I had bought more stocks, you know, if I had had like 1,000 units of this particular stock, by now I would have been making, more money out of this. So that got me thinking. I was like, I shouldn't have even sold those ones I sold. Let me just, okay, go back and study these things and know where I made mistakes, and start correcting them and then start investing again. And that move I made had helped me, because my knowledge in the stock investment has grown so tremendously over the years, and I can beat my chest to tell you that what I know now compared to what I knew when I started, there's a very huge knowledge gap. I have learned something, and I'm here to share with you some of those mistakes so that you, as a beginner investor in stocks and shares investment, would not have to make it. This is one good thing about teaching. The reason why you teach people is so that they too will be able to avoid some of the pitholes or the potholes that we hit while we are trying to scale through. So okay, one of the common mistakes that beginner investors make in stock investing is, okay, investing without knowledge. I am guilty of that, number one. Okay, because how I started investing was quite funny. I was like, I wasn't getting much money out of my salary work, and I needed to invest my money, because I've been hearing about investment. Let me just invest my money on something that can grow my money over time. So I was watching a YouTube video of a guy, and he talked about how to make money via stocks and shares investment, and then he broke down how the processes what the processes are, and the apps that he used to invest. He dropped his referral code in the description box, so I had to quickly went to the referral code. I had to register and everything. Then I invested with 5,000 naira. Okay, because I used this referral code, I was given five free Dangote Sugar shares, and the journey began for me. But the journey stopped there, because that was the first and the last investment I made in that year. All through, I didn't top up. I just left them there, and I was getting dividends from those stocks, but because I didn't buy much units of those stocks, most of them were 5 units. Um, um, I can't really remember, but I think it didn't even exceed 10 units of those stocks. So how am I even going to make money out of 10 units of a stock? Even if I were paid dividends, if the dividends were 2 naira each, so 2 times 10, how much is it? I was just getting, I think one of the dividends I know I got then was about 200 naira dividend, and it didn't really make sense. But if I were topping up then, it would have, it would have, okay, been great. But I just left them there, and that was where my frustration started. Okay, so one of the things you need to arm yourself with as a beginner investor is knowledge. You need to understand what you are venturing into. You need to understand the scopes of how to make money via stocks and shares, because truth be told, we are doing this investment because we need money. It's not just that we love investing, we need money. We need to multiply our resources. You need to grow wealth over time. So you need to understand what you're seriously doing. Okay, don't just because someone told you, oh, there's an investment coming up, okay, you just dump your money in there. This is the reason why a lot of people lose money, because you don't understand what investment really is. So one common mistake you should avoid as a beginner investor is investing without knowledge. It is no. Okay, if you're about to start your investment journey because of the video I did last week, okay, and you're impressed, like, okay, let me go and invest in stocks and shares, please watch this video also on beginner mistakes that you should avoid. Okay, one of them is investing without money, without knowledge. Okay, investment mistake number 2 is expecting fast money. Okay, stocks and shares is not MMM. Okay, it is not a get rich quick scheme, okay, where you just enter today and then you expect that you're going to have like 50% interest the next day. Although there are times that the stock market do really well, that a particular stock can have a leap of over 50% profit in a day. There are times that it happens that way. But then, because this is not an MMM, it is not promised. The stock market is quite volatile, so it is not promised. So you don't get into the stock market investment with that kind of understanding or mindset that you're going to invest today and tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire. It's not possible. So please die that mindset right now. If you are entering the stock market investment with this kind of mindset, you are going to be disappointed. You just bought the stock today and then you open your investment app and you're seeing red everywhere. It could be disappointing. Just have the volatility mindset of the stock investment. Keep it in mind, okay, so that you don't get disappointed when you get into the market. All right, okay. Mistake number 3 is panic selling. Oh, since the beginning of the year, the stock market has been doing very bad compared to ending of last year, when we were just cashing out on a steady move. The stock market was just giving us back-to-back profits. But earlier this year, and okay, from the beginning of this year down, we were having losses. In fact, sometimes I got, whenever I open my app, I get angry because it just red everywhere. You understand? So, but that is one of the things about stock investment, like I mentioned earlier, the volatility. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose. You're going to, your money is going to just run away. What it means is that when the market is red, you buy more, because definitely if you chose the right stock, it is going to, it is going to bounce back and you're going to get your money back with interest. Okay, so please avoid panic selling when you are investing in the stock market, because if you immediately sell any stock because they're running a loss, you now sell. They're running, everything is running a loss, now you now sell. You're going to lose money. So whenever the stock is on red, calm down, relax, it's going to bounce back. Okay, all right. Okay, another mistake that beginner investors make is putting all your money in one stock. Oh my god. Okay, some people say putting all your eggs in one basket. I hope you understand that one of the beauty of investment is diversification. Okay, you do not put all your eggs in one basket. What if the basket overturns? All your eggs are gone. So think of that the same way in investment. If you use your entire money to buy one particular stock, invest in one particular company, or even in one particular sector, because you think you trust this company, what if they start running a loss? You start losing all your money. No. So one of the things you should avoid as a beginner investor is putting all your money in one particular stock. We should learn diversification. Invest in different stocks. Invest in different sectors of the market. Invest in different companies. If you have 100,000 today, please do not just go and buy only MTN because you heard that someone told you that MTN is really doing very well this season. You now decided to go and invest the entire 100,000 naira in MTN. It's very bad. Okay, you might lose your money. Okay, even some people go to the extent of investing in companies they did not even do, they did not research on the company. They just invest their entire fund on it, and before you know it, you don't even know if the company is going bankrupt. You just invest in them, and before you know it, I made that mistake. I'm telling you the mistake I made. It was a foreign a dollar investment. I bought this company because I read from the news that they're doing very well. I bought this particular stock and I relaxed. Thankfully, I didn't buy with much money, but even if it's just $1 that I used to buy that stock, till today, it still pains me because I'm even still seeing that particular stock in my portfolio with the app I used to invest. They're still there, but they're no longer trading. Okay, they've delisted from investing in the US market. So I bought it today, and the next day I just got the news that they're no longer in the market. I was so disappointed. It was heartbreaking for me because I thought I wanted to make money. I didn't know that the company I wanted to invest in, without knowledge, they were going out of the market the next day. Okay, so as a beginner investor, please do not put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify. Imagine if I used the entire money I had to invest in that particular company. What do you think would have been my fate now? In fact, I'll be so angry at myself and even at people around me. But because I diversified, I may have lost that one, but I had other companies still giving me profit. So I'm well relaxed. The loss is not that very much. Okay, so diversify your portfolio. Buy MTN, buy bank, buy telecommunication sector, buy banking sector, buy agriculture, buy commercial. Okay, let me just not mention the sectors. Let me mention the companies themselves. Buy MTN, buy Zenith Bank, buy invest in insurance companies like I don't think I can remember any for now. So research and invest insurance companies that invest in them. Invest in agriculture. They're doing well today. Okay, and so many other ones. Before you invest, okay, look at the fundamentals of these companies. How well are they doing? Okay, now after analyzing these companies, use your 100,000, share it, divide them, buy different sectors, different sectors of the market, invest in different companies, and then watch your money grow over time. Okay, and when you invest, please do not just fold your hand and go and sleep like me. Okay, monitor your portfolio, and also please learn to top up. Do not neglect the aspect of topping up your portfolio every now and then, depending on when money comes in. Okay, so if let's say you started with 100 units of a particular stock, let's say Zenith Bank stock, you bought 100 units of Zenith Bank stocks, and then next month you add up another 100 units, other month you add up another 100 units, before you know it, you're 1,000 units. I'm telling you the truth that by the time this company start paying you dividends, oh my god, maybe you start with just when they pay you get like 200 naira as dividend, but when you keep on buying more stocks over the time, before you know it, when your stock gets like 1,000 units, 10,000 units, when they pay you dividend, you'll be happy that you received dividend. This is how a lot of rich men do their day-to-day spendings. Most of them don't even need to spend their actual money. They invest and then they use the proceed or the interest they made from the investment to sort out their day-to-day, activities or needs. Okay. All right. Some people who have money invest and they use the investment to fund their children's education. Before we digress, we're talking about diversifying portfolio. So one of the good things about the diversification is that it limits loss. Okay. So if you had invested in MTN, for example, and MTN run on a loss, and let's say 50% loss, and you invested your entire money on only MTN, you're going to have like 50% loss. But if there's a diversification, okay, you diversify, the loss will not be, you won't have like the impact of that loss, because all the other investments you made are covering up for the losses. Okay. All right. So another one of the common mistakes that beginners make, which will be the last one for today, is investing only in growth stocks and ignoring dividend stocks. Okay. I've listened to some investors say these things, that they don't really care about dividends. They just want a stock that give them every day back to back profits. Okay, why that is also good, but there is one good thing about getting dividends. Okay, now imagine if you have dividend with daily profits. That is much money. Okay, so as an investor, do not neglect any part of this form of investment, because both of them are necessary. Invest in growth stocks, invest in dividend stocks. You gain here, you gain here, join it together, your money is going. Okay, you're building wealth over time. Okay, now let's recap on some of these common mistakes that beginner investors make. One is investing without knowledge. Please do not invest on what you don't know about. Do your due diligence to always research and read up on the stock market and get knowledge about what the stock market really is before you start your investment journey. It's very necessary. Number two is panic selling. Please, when the stock market is on red, do not sell immediately, except maybe you invested in that company and then you realize that this company is not something good for you. You can pull out your funds and invest in other things. But aside from that, as long as you are confident that the stocks you invested in are wonderful stocks that have good potentials, that have solid financials, please do not sell, because they're going to bounce back again. All right. Another mistake that beginner investors make, is expecting fast money immediately you start investing. This is not MMM. Investing in stock market is not a get rich quick scheme. So do your diligence to have this mindset that the stock market is highly volatile. There are ups and downs in the stock market. You lose, you gain, you lose, you gain. It's just like buying in the market. It's not every day that a market woman makes profit. Some days she goes to the market and everything is just meh. But there are some days she gets to the market and then she's just selling back to back, back to back. That's the same way. That's the analogy I can give you about how the stock market works. So relax, do not panic sell. Okay. Another common mistake in recap that investors make is investing only in growth stocks and leaving and overlooking the dividend stock. Both of them are very important. Please balance your portfolio very well so that you can benefit from the stock market. And lastly, please, another mistake that investors make is investing all your money in one stock. That's putting all your eggs in one basket. It is not good. So to avoid loss, do make sure that you diversify your portfolio. It's very important, so that you have a healthy looking portfolio that gives you profit on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, please subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who needs it. Let's build wealth together. Thank you so much, and bye.